This chapter is named as Pregnancy of Diti in the evening. And here we can see Kardama Muni addressing Diti. And he makes certain remarks about his wife. And he says, he is addressing her in, O Queen of the home. We are not able to act like you, nor could we repay you for what you have done, even if we worked for entire life or even after death. To repay you is not possible, even for those who are admirers or of your personal qualities. Even for those who are admirers of personal qualities. Prabhupada starts the purport very interestingly. He says, so much glorification of a woman indicates that he is henpecked. What does henpecked means? Anyone? We have come across this word many a times in Prabhupada's teachings. Henpecked husband, when they say, what does that mean? One who is like, yes, whatever you will say, I will do. That's called as henpecked husband. Or he is talking lightly in a joke. It's a joke. Either of these two. There is no third thing here, Prabhupada is saying. Before getting into the details of this verse, let us first look at this woman. Who are we referring to here? Diti or Aditi? Diti. Okay. Husband's name? Kashyapa Muni. So let us first look at this woman that is described here. Not just any wife, but a serious wife, obviously. A wife who is committed to her duties. We can make out here at this point. Everyone in society has his prescribed duty to do. And if everyone acts accordingly, then relationship becomes valuable. The husband and wife support each other, complement each other. That is what is expected. If the wife is not serious about spiritual duty, then she can pull the man down. So, thought to put things in perspective here in relation to today's verse. Marriage is meant for spiritual advancement. If it's meant for sense gratification only, then it is not going to be beneficial. One is Grihastha life and the other is Grihamedhi life. So in spiritual life, sense enjoyment is allowed within the Grihastha ashram, but all within the confines of dharma. One can eat very nicely, and that is fine on a regular basis, but at the same time it must be Krishna prasadam. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would say, he was in a renounced order of life, he would say, just give me little rice and shak. Out of the offering when it comes, he will say, give me plain rice and shak, spinach. Give me rice and shak, and give all the opulent preparations, give it to the householders. He would say that. Because, vacho vegam, udara vegam, Vishayeta dhiraha. Devotees, they have to find a balance. We are here to live a life of purity. Spiritual master will protect us if we have a genuine relationship with him. Everyone gets this pinch of following the 4 regulative principles, especially the number 4. The pressure of senses are very strong. So we need transcendental knowledge, and we need affectionate relationship with the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas. Alone, what can we do? Can't do anything. As a community, we depend on each other. Just as one depends on a good wife, and a good wife depends on a good husband, and they care for each other, and they really see that they are 2 halves of one unit. It means that the needs of the whole family are my needs. They look at things in that manner. That's the foundation of the Grihastha Ashram. It's not about my needs only. It's about the whole family's needs. Grihastha Ashram is based on the mode of goodness. Srila Prabhupada said, it's not about being in the mode of goodness, it's all about associating with the mode of goodness. That's practical. So this solution to associate with the mode of goodness, that we can do. Every ashram requires that. Mode of goodness is needed in ashram. Doctor cannot operate himself, he has to go to other surgeon. Karma grandhi nibandhanam. Mode of goodness is based on regulation. Mode of passion is based on impulses. Mode of goodness is about saying that I have certain duties for myself and I will just take shelter of them. That is mode of goodness. Maybe not extreme or too austere where we crack, but something we can maintain. This way we can strengthen our ashram. Varnashrama is a system where one gradually rises above the lower modes of material nature to the mode of goodness, and from the mode of goodness to the transcendental platform. That's what the Varnashrama system is. That's the idea. Because if we go to transcendental platform from the mode of ignorance directly, then it's very hard to maintain. Then the tendency is to go down to lower ways. So, this is to be cultivated as part of strengthening our own ashrams. So here we are seeing some kind of flattery language being used by Kardama Muni addressing his wife. Flattering means we have some hidden agenda. And between man and woman, we know what's the hidden agenda if they start flattering each other. So honesty is the foundation of an ashram life. If it is based on pretense, if it is based on show, or if it is based on impressing others, then we can fall prey to sense gratification. When Srila Prabhupada first came to America, Or you can say he was thoroughly honest when he had gone to America. And that is sadhu. People were impressed. They were impressed by him. But they could see that this person is not trying to impress anybody. He is telling the truth. He is thoroughly honest. That is, we call it as sadhu. So we have to become more honest. Honesty is not really appreciated presently in the modern world. Not too much weightage is given to this. But in search of life, we have to depend on honesty. We depend on the mercy of Vaishnavas by being honest to them. If we hide or lead a double life, then it's a big issue. It will reflect in our ashram also. The mode of goodness is thoughtful. We can't be we can't be on autopilot. We should think about the philosophy, how it applies in every aspect of our life. Srimad Bhagavatam is not some sort of a medicine to take a quick dose. I have got some problem, immediately open Srimad Bhagavatam and some shlokas I have chanted and then that's it. Cured. We have to deeply think. We have to deeply think about it and apply in our life. The more we actually realize that here in Srimad Bhagavatam there's something very useful, we have a shelter. We have a shelter. It always tells me what to do in every situation. We may get caught in a situation and think what to do. Srimad Bhagavatam is always a way out. It's important that we are living in the we were living with this knowledge and we can apply it. We can't Google it. We have to actually think. What we are reading today, what it means for us. Every day we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. We have to think what it means for us. That's what is important. So here Srimad Bhagavatam is not narrating a bedtime story. It's not doing that. It's more than story, it's about life. It's more than story, more than a story, it's real actually. So Srimad Bhagavatam is in this way very important. Without it, how we can be in mode of goodness? Associating with mode of goodness means associating with transcendental knowledge. That's what it means. So for that we have to turn on the tape, we have to turn on the lecture. Spiritual life without a plan doesn't function. We have to plan. We have to plan to chant 16 rounds daily. We have to plan to wake up for Mangala Arati. Life is very busy if we don't plan it. And mode of goodness means a plan. How to reserve time for spiritual things. It's a plan for hearing, for chanting. In that way, we can associate with the mode of goodness. Then our ashrams will flourish. Then spiritual life becomes possible. This is what I am drawing from this verse. The theme of, strengthening our ashram. Whatever it may be, how to strengthen our ashram. That is what I am looking at here. Another point which Prabhupada brings up in the purport, which gives an inference here, is that if a man renders some service to a woman, there is some expectation. What is that? That I have done something for you, now you are going to do something for me. This give and take is there. So, brahmacharis and sannyasis have to be very careful of taking services from women, because then you have to reciprocate. You have to reciprocate them. Service means one becomes indebted. You serve somebody, you become indebted. You take service from somebody, you become indebted. So the husband and wife should also be in service relationship in true sense. What is that? Wife feels husband has done for me, and husband thinks that wife has done something for me. And that should be paid in Krishna consciousness. I have to help my wife because she is doing so much for me. I have to help her in Krishna consciousness. But here the relationship is not so pure. The husband says that I could never repay you. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here that even if I work for entire life, I cannot repay you. And then start on next life, still I can never repay you. What is this? Such an expression of indebtedness. That means he is hopelessly controlled by his wife, or else he is joking. That is what Prabhupada is mentioning here. If suddenly you start glorifying someone, that you are very great, you are Mahatma Gandhi, you are like this, you are like that. You are a person who has descended from Vaikuntha. Suddenly if you make, it will make him think that, oh, you are joking, Prabhuji. You are not serious. Something you are saying. So, they will immediately understand that we are joking. So, Kardama Muni is either helplessly lost or he is joking. Prabhupada is writing, so much glorification of a woman by her husband indicates that he is henpecked or is talking lightly in joke. The woman giggles and man does some funny things. Anything to get her smile, anything to take a notice of him, or to say something affectionate to him. And the woman would say, wouldn't you buy me some things, such and such things? Then okay, the man agrees. He says, okay, I'll put on my credit card. I'll buy that for you. Even if I have to pay 18% interest on it, I will do it for you. So people become so mad. So there is also truth, however, here, that a man is indebted to his chaste wife because, that's a very interesting point. Man is really indebted to his chaste wife. Why? Because Prabhupada is writing something very interesting. He says, because she protects him from becoming degraded. She protects him from becoming degraded by illicit association. Prabhupada is writing Kashyapa meant that householders living with wives enjoy the heavenly blessings of sense enjoyment and at the same time have no fear of going down to hell. It is interesting to understand this. How does she protect him from becoming degraded by illicit association? See, the tendency is very strong in material enjoyment to be attracted to the opposite sex. It's very strong. So when the man is not married and the woman is not married, then there is a possibility of illicit connections. Therefore, it is said the boy and the girl should be married. Girl definitely has to get married. Otherwise, andanta gobe. The uncontrolled senses would drag one down. So this is the regulation. Be attracted to one woman. That's your wife. Be attracted to that one woman. That's regulation. It's very much required. Mix with one woman. Marry. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, no? This is religious to be engaged in householder life according to the regulative principles. It's religious. Husband and wife should form a cooperative team for the service of Guru and Krishna and for the project of controlling the senses. Any yoga you take, it means control the senses, especially the sex impulse. Otherwise, the life is of cats and dogs. So the brahmachari life is to controlling the senses. And the householder life is also about controlling the senses. Grihastha ashram have association according to regulative principles. Then that also comes under the realm of bhakti yoga. Better to be in householder life than to be a pseudo sannyasi or a pseudo brahmachari. Mithyachara sa uchyate. I think in the 3rd chapter, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says this. He says, one make a show of being self-controlled but always thinking of sex life. So it is pseudo. Then he is bewildered. Person in renounced order should be strict. A black spot on white cloth stands out. One small spot on a white cloth will be visible. So brahmachari, sannyasis should follow strictly the principles of remaining aloof from opposite sex. Not that becoming householders, we have a license to do anything and everything. When you get a driving license, what do? You simply drive whichever way you want just because you got a driving license? No. Driving license doesn't mean to break the traffic laws. You are supposed to follow traffic laws. Householder life, wife is not a machine for sense gratification. Sex should be for begetting a good child in Krishna consciousness. Not any time, like what is happening now. In the evening, she is making a proposal to Kashyapa. He's telling, do it like this. And he has to oblige now, because she is demanding from him. You have to restrain. Then it's good. Then husband and wife real business goes on well. So deities are recommended for that reason, for householders to have deities in their house. To be engaged in the service of the deities, should come to temple and be engaged in the service of deity there also. Then they are on the safe side. Then they are on the safe side. So Prabhupada is saying that in other words, the so-called man of renounced order who has left his house and wife goes to hell if he again desires sexual pleasure knowingly or unknowingly. In that way, the householders are on the side of safety. Therefore, husbands as a class cannot repay their debt to women either in this life or in next, even if they engage themselves in repaying the woman throughout the whole lives. It is still not possible. Not all husbands are able to appreciate the good qualities of their wives. But even though one is able to appreciate these good qualities, it is still not possible to repay the debt to the wife. Such extraordinary praises by a husband for his wife are certainly in the mood of joking. So these are some of the points which I could infer from the verse, and I tried to explain. I'll stop here.